cement work that had to be done there, so it's really too dated.
You mean building 50?
Building 50, yeah. So, and Joe is a contractor, and we also have other people on our committee that they can see that there is repairs required before we can paint. So, so we got to bring in an engineer to really figure that out by building.
Yeah, I just thought that we did have an engineer come in.
Not
I thought
recently.
that was done.
Not recently. To our knowledge, I've been on the board for 3 years and I've never heard of it.
Okay.
Well, we have an engineering report for a reserve fund, but that's not the condition. That projects future capital requirements and the money needed to cover that. And I might add, there's a problem there too, but we'll save that for another meeting. Yeah, there's not enough money in the reserves. Okay.
Joe, I would hope we're going to have more than one engineer check each other.
Yeah,
Because
got three.
my understanding of what happened in Palm Air, there were a couple of buildings that had some concrete restoration work done, and after it was all torn apart, there were engineers that were saying it never should have been, had the demolition that they had. They didn't do repairs. They were easy repairs, and they went really into it.
Well, on my committee.
We realize all of that.
On my
We
committee,
realize that. We know who did it and why.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I'm quite aware of all that.
Good.
I don't want to mention building 16 and
No.
10 grand of balcony.
Yeah, thank you.
What I want to say is that on my committee, I'm not alone on this. I also have an architect. Have a look at me. He's right there. His name is Sean Yi Kofi. He's an architect from back home. We already did a quick look. And when I check this with the engineer, he's going to be beside me. He's going to have a hard time to pull a fast one on us.
Good.
Any more questions? Yep.
So, yeah. So
What we got?
which contract are you going to tender first?
Which contract? We're going to have to do this.
Are you going to start supporting services?
Yes, I'm going to start also renegotiating contracts, especially with the landscaping and the elevator. I want to get the elevator contract, which I already got Mr. Badjar. He's going to join me on that because we have a good elevator contract, but we don't have good service. So we want to review his service, make sure he gives us the service for our money.
Thank you.
And the landscaping contract, we're going to have to get some more quotes and negotiate, because there's a lot of money wasted on that. So I'm working on that also.
Joe says I have any more questions. Well, just a comment in that Jan and I kind of look at the invoices every 2 weeks. And when we see so many services that have either not been tendered for years, I mean, getting quotes, 3 quotes, that's what I mean by tender. There is quite a bit we'll be doing over the next 6 months. We're starting with landscaping, but there's a lot of contracts that we have to get multiple quotes on. And there's a lot of invoices we see with absolutely no contract. None. So it's a little scary, actually. I mean, we're signing invoices without any rationale of what the amount should be by contract. Okay, so having said that, you're up again, Joe. Well, wait a minute. What's the next committee? Contract review. Yes, there's the painting and rec center renovation. Now, Joe is going to chair that committee. That's kind of, we're adding it to it because he has the general contracting, and Louisa is going to be the vice chair. So, Joe, you're back.
All right, for the rec center, we're going to be, I'm waiting for Charlene to get the city plans so I can give it to the architect and see what he can do.
Speak into the mic.
He's probably going to do 3 plans with a budget, you know, plan A, plan B, and plan C, and we're going to let the people decide what they really want, you know, what's really important to them. because we want to do a drastic change. A lot of people talk to us about a gym, and people talk to us about a kitchen, a barbecue, a bigger space, so we're gonna be looking at that. But once we get the plans, once we can get the plans of the rec center, how it's planted right now, then the architect is gonna take those measurements and he's gonna draw something up, because we do have a bit of room on both sides to do a kitchen, or we go up a floor. So there's a lot of things we wanna look at. He's already got pretty good ideas. We seem to share the same ideas, but cost is gonna depend on you people, what you really want. We wanna make big change so you guys can get better value for your property. That's about it for now. Yeah.
I'm good.
You're good? Well, Luis is gonna make sure it looks great. Joe's is gonna make sure it's built well. So that's kind of the difference.
Question.
Okay, question, go ahead.
What is the projected cost of that new rec center?
Well, that's a good question. We don't know now, but they're gonna be, you know, with the three option Joes, there's gonna be price 1, price 2, price 3. So, you know, we'll be from low to high, and we'll see what the members want.
Money for that?
We are going to be doing our budgeting, but there has been money for capital improvements that just haven't been allocated. So we're going to have to, the issue, a lot of decisions will be made once Jan does the budget starting next September. We'll have the special procedures audit finished. We'll see where the books are. We will have a sense of how much it's going to cost to fix the buildings. We're going to have a better sense of what it costs to paint them. So when we do our budgeting, we'll kind of figure out how much we can afford. And we're hoping, by the way, to save a good amount of money by retendering. So the money we save there, then we can apply towards yes.
By what? Retender?
Pardon?
What did you say?
Oh, it's a Canadian thing. Retendering means getting multiple quotes for a service. Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay. Yeah.
One thing you gotta remember is, if you're gonna put a gym in there or a kitchen, it's gotta be approved by Pompano Code.
You don't think we know that? Are we
No.
not stupid? We're not stupid, you know. We know that.
I know you're hiding
But
in the
there are
back
some
there,
people
but
that may
a
not
lot of
know
people don't
that.
know that. They don't have to deal with Pompano Codes every day.
She from the old board? Yeah. She's from the old board.
Okay, let's bring this back. So, I just want to move on to the next committee report, because you can see that on each one of these committees, we are starting to work on things we said we would do. So the next is building maintenance, and that's Joe O'Neill, so he's going to talk good about that.
Stupid stuff.
All the stupid stuff. Well, building maintenance, the easiest way thing for me to tell you right now is we gotta walk every we have to walk every building and see what's going on, what needs to be done. Before any painting can be done, we gotta find out where the cracks are, where the building's falling apart. And I can't give you too much information because I don't have it yet. You know, it takes time, and I'm running here, and Peter keeps calling meetings and committee meetings and stuff. But we'll get it done.
You're doing a great job, Peter. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I know, I like to teach.
I
All
know.
right.
He told me to go back to Canada.
I did.
Okay, so one of the things, so landscaping, and Rosie's sick, but we started the landscaping review of the buildings, and we did 6 buildings, 20, 21, 14, 23, 15, and 16. And we just ran out of time because that took us almost 2 hours. So we're having a look at the buildings and what needs to be fixed. We're talking to building presidents along the way, and we're trying to improve the look of the landscaping, and we're dealing with input from the buildings. So we're going to do the other buildings, 4 buildings and the 2 rec centers in terms of landscaping in 2 weeks. So we started, and I hope you'll start to see changes in the landscaping and the improvements that we're trying to bring in. So that's what Rosie's been doing. Yeah, go ahead.
If we're looking into possibly having concrete work done to the buildings and stuff, maybe we should hold off for landscaping? If you're going to have to do some work to our buildings and everything, might we not have to rip up some of our landscaping?
Well, that's why that's why we have to get the quotes to find out how much it's gonna cost to repair.
Right.
And once
Well,
I give that number to the lady here, then she's gonna say, well, okay, we got it, but you have to cut on this or on
no,
that.
what I'm saying is, we don't want to paint because we don't want to paint and then find that we have structural damage.
No, we can paint if you want, but then you're gonna start over. Right?
What I'm saying is, do you want to do landscaping that may wind up being damaged because you have to do structural
You want to do
damage?
the structural first and then do the painting.
Right,
And the planting, unfortunately, so we don't get
Hang
stepped
on,
on.
hang on. Okay, one of the things we're doing is trimming. So, I mean, so that we can improve the appearance, and then some people are missing trees, or we're dealing with pruning of trees. So we're doing things that,